American Wild West, Exemplars of Anarcho-Capitalism. We're going to compare the American Wild West with medieval Iceland. Yes, we have a picture of a spacecraft. So, enjoy the video. Medieval Iceland. So, comparing medieval Iceland and the American Wild West as exemplars of anarcho-capitalism. So we're going to do an in-depth and comprehensive analysis. Introduction. American capitalism. Anarcho-capitalism, a libertarian philosophy advocating for the abolition of the state in favor of private property rights, voluntary contracts, and market-provided services such as law enforcement and defense, often draws on historical precedents to demonstrate its feasibility. Two of the most frequent cited examples are medieval Icelandic Commonwealth, 930 to 1262 AD, and the American Wild West, roughly 1840s to 1890s. These periods present societies where centralized government was minimal or absent, and private institutions filled the void, aligning with anarcho-capitalist ideas as articulated by thinkers like Murray Rothbard and David Freeman. While neither was a pure anarcho-capitalist utopia due to elements like residual hierarchies, violence, or incomplete privatization, they offer valuable insights into how stateless or near stateless systems can function. So in this essay, I provide comprehensive comparison, examining the historical context, structural features, similarities, differences, successes, failures, and implications for modern anarcho-capitalism. Drawing on scholarly analysis, I will explore how both societies managed conflict, property, and social order through private means, while addressing critiques that question their idyllic portrayals. Ultimately, this analysis reveals that despite contextual variances, both exemplify the potential viability of anarcho-capitalist principles, challenging the notion that government monopolies are essential for stability. So, historical context, medieval Iceland. The Icelandic Commonwealth. Settled by Norse Vikings fleeing centralized authority in Norway around 874 AD, and Iceland developed a unique stateless society by 930 AD. With a population of 20,000 to 70,000, the island lacked a king, executive branch, or standing army. Governance revolved around the Althing, an annual assembly for legislation, and regional things, assemblies for local matters. Laws were codified in the Gragas, recited by elected loudspeaker, but enforcement remained private. The system endured for over 3 centuries until internal power consolidation and Norwegian intervention led to its collapse in 1262. This era is documented richly in sages, provided detailed accounts of private legal practices. Okay, there's American Wild West, frontier expansion. The Wild West refers to the post-Civil War American frontier spanning territories like California, Montana, and Wyoming from 1840 to 1890. Driven by westward expansion, gold rushes, and homesteading, it involved a population boom for migrants seeking opportunity amid weak federal presence. Government institutions lagged behind settlement. For instance, in mining camps or cattle ranges, formal law was absent for years. This period ended with the closing of the frontier around 1890, as railroads, telegraph lines, and statehood integrated the region. Unlike Iceland's isolation, the Wild West was part of a larger federal framework, but local governance was often de facto private due to remoteness. Both contexts arose from migration, to ungoverned lands, Iceland from Scandinavian tyranny, the West from economic allure, fostering self-reliant communities. However, Iceland's system was more intentionally designed as stateless, while the West's anarchy was transitional, awaiting government extension. Key features: similarities and anarcho-capitalism element. Despite temporal and cultural gaps, both societies exhibited core anarcho-capitalist traits: private property enforcement, competitive dispute resolution, like think eBay, market-driven security, private governance and law enforcement. In Iceland, chieftains sold protection and legal services as marketable property rights. Free individuals voluntarily affiliated with a word I cannot pronounce, switching if dissatisfied, creating a competitive market for governance. Crimes were civil torts resolved via compensation or arbitration, with outlawry as non-violent deterrent. Similarly, in the Wild West, private institutions emerged rapidly. Mining camps formed voluntary associations with elected officials and claim clubs to define and protect property rights, often without federal oversight. Cattlemen associations provided mutual defense against rustlers, while wagon trains organized under the private contracts with elected leaders and rules for conflict resolution. Vigilant groups, though controversial, acted as private enforcers, mirroring Iceland's private prosecution. Both systems treated law as private good. Iceland's transferable claims allowed selling justice to stronger parties, while Western Stockmen's associations pulled resources for bounties and patrols. This polycentric approach, multiple competing providers, prevented monopolies, aligning with the Rothbard's vision of private defense agencies. Private property economic incentives. Private property was central in Iceland. All land was privatized by 930 AD, with no commons, incentivizing efficient use amid harsh conditions. Trade and farming flourished without taxes, leading to comparable or superior living standards. Tailors and higher real wages too. Taller statures and higher real wages to state-governed Europe. The Wild West emphasized homesteading and mining claims, where first occupancy rules, prior appropriation, governed water and land rights, differing from Eastern riparian systems by suiting arid environments. Economic booms in gold and cattle reflected market freedom, with private railroads and merchants filling infrastructure gaps. Like Iceland, low taxation, absent initially, spurred growth, though federal subsidies later intervened. Okay? Social order through voluntary associations. Multiple aid was voluntary. Iceland's communes handled welfare, while Western communities relied on churches, fraternal orders, and private charities. Both fostered individualism, with reputation and reciprocity deterring misconduct. These parallels demonstrate anarcho-capitalism's adaptability. Private mechanisms can emerge organically to provide public goods, refuting Hobbesian fears of chaos without Leviathan. Differences and contextual structural variations. While similar in principle, divergences stem from environment, scale, and evolution. Scale, technology, and external influences. Iceland's small, isolated population under 100,000 allowed intimate, reputation-based enforcement, with feuds resolved personally. The Wild West spanned vast territories with millions, incorporating firearms and railroads, enabling faster mobility, but also anonymity-fueled crime. Externally, Iceland faced Norwegian pressure, while the West was a frontier of expanding U.S. state, with military presence for Indians. Conflicts critiques argue this made it federally funded colonialism, not true anarchy. cultural and institutional foundations, Iceland drew from Norse traditions of assemblies and private law, with slavery declining by the 12th century, contradicting self-ownership. The West inherited Anglo-American common law, emphasizing individualism and entrepreneurship, but included diverse groups, immigrants, Indians, leading to cultural clashes absent in homogeneous Iceland. Iceland, where hereditary, salable, resembling firms, whereas Western institutions are more ad hoc, like temporary wagon train contracts. Violence and stability. Iceland sages depict blood feuds, but overall violence was managed with low battle casualties. The Wild West mythology exaggerates lawlessness. Studies show homicide rates, 1.5 per 100,000 in Dodge City, were lower than modern U.S. cities thanks to private order. However, native conflicts and vigilantism highlight coercive elements not as prevalent in Iceland. Iceland lasted longer, 332 years, but collapsed from internal oligarchy. The West anarchy was shorter, transitioning to statism, voluntary as populations grew. Now the success, failures, and critiques. So let's address those. Success. Both achieved prosperity. Iceland's growth outpaced Europe with equitable wealth distribution until late. The West's economic miracles, like California's gold rush, created wealth without bureaucracy. Conflict resolution was efficient. Iceland's arbitration averted wars. The West claimed clubs, minimized disputes. These validate anarcho-capitalism claim that markets can provide justice and security better than states. Okay, let's address some of the failures and critiques. Failures include power concentration. Iceland's chieftains became oligarchs, leading to chaos. The West saw vigilantism, abuse, and native dispossession, undermining non-aggression. Critiques argue neither was truly anarcho-capitalist. Iceland had public elements, the West federal backing. Slavery in Iceland and inequality in both contradict pure ideals. Okay, lessons for anarcho-capitalism. These examples teach that private governance works in small, homogeneous settings, but risks capture by elites or external conquest. Technology, guns in the West, amplifies challenges, while oscillation, Iceland, aids stability. Modern applications like seasteading or crypto communities could mitigate flaws by emphasizing contracts and reputation systems. As Leeson notes, there are the primary documented cases proving anarcho-capitalism may not be insane. So the conclusion? Medieval Iceland and the American Wild West, though separated by centuries and oceans, both illustrate anarcho-capitalist core tenets through private institutions that fostered order and prosperity without coercive states. Similarities in voluntary law and markets highlight universal principles, while differences underscore contextual adaptations. Despite imperfections, they counter statist narratives, offering empirical support for philosophy of liberty. In a world of growing government overreach, these historical experiments remind us that human ingenuity can thrive in freedom, paving the way for future voluntary societies. Okay, so now I'm going to do a summary recap of this while we enjoy the amazing video I made. So here's kind of a summary again, touching on the points. The Wild West and the Medieval Iceland, historical exemplars of anarcho-capitalism and strategies for persuasion. Okay, we talked about persuasion last week, so we'll kind of cover a little bit more this time. Or do a little review. Why not? See. So building on a broader case for anarcho-capitalism and the superior societal system. So my discussion, again, we'll talk about two historical examples. Again, often cited by proponents, the American Wild West, roughly the 1840s, 1890s, and the Icelandic Commonwealth, about 920 to 1262 AD. These periods illustrate key principles of anarcho-capitalism, such as voluntary cooperation, private dispute resolution, eBay, and homesteading, in the absence of a strong central government. Contrary to popular myths of chaos, both eras demonstrated that order and prosperity can emerge from decentralized, market-driven mechanisms. So I'll review again, how the Wild West exemplifies anarcho-capitalism through homesteading and private governance, how medieval Iceland showcases a stateless legal system, and finally strategies to convince the skeptics of these examples' relevance. So by grounding my argument here in historical evidence and addressing counterpoints, we can make compelling cases that the experiments validate anarcho-capitalism feasibility. Okay, the American Wild West, a model of anarcho-capitalism and homesteading. The American Wild West is frequently portrayed in the media as lawless frontier rife with violence and disorder. However, this caricaturization overlooks the reality. It's oversimplification. In vast regions where federal and state authority was minimal or absent, settlers established functional systems of private property, security, and justice through voluntary associations and market incentives, hallmarks of anarcho-capitalism. Far from anarchy in the pejorative sense, the Wild West was a proving ground for self-governance, where individuals homesteaded land, formed mutual protection pacts, and resolved conflicts without coercive state monopolies. Let's get into homesteading as the foundation of private property rights. Central to the Wild West anarcho-capitalism ethos was the homestead principle, a libertarian concept where individuals acquire ownerships of unclaimed resources by mixing their labor with them, such as farming and mining. The U.S. Homestead Act of 1862 formalized this to some extent, but in practice, much of the West operated on the informal homesteading long before or beyond government oversight. Pioneers staked claims on land, water, and resources through first use and defended them via private means, creating a de facto property rights system without central enforcement. For example, cattle ranchers formed associations like the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, which registered brands, hired detectives, and arbitrated disputes, essentially privatized law enforcement. Mining camps in California and Colorado developed their own codes, electing judges and sheriffs on a contractual basis, with rules enforced by reputation and ostracism rather than taxes. This system minimized violence. Studies show homicide rates in the West were lower than eastern cities under government control, as private incentives aligned with peace. Homesteading not only spurred rapid economic development, turning barren lands into thriving communities, but also embodied anarcho-capitalist ideals by allowing individuals to opt in to governance structures, fostering innovation and wealth creation without bureaucratic hurdles. Private institutions and order without the state. In the absence of a robust government, anarcho-capitalist mechanisms filled the void. Vigilante communities, while often sensationalized, were temporary and community-driven responses to threats, dissolving once order was restored. More enduring were wagon train contracts, where migrants agreed to private arbitration for disputes and land clubs that surveyed and allocated property. These examples refute the warlordism critique. Competition among providers ensured accountability, as dissatisfied parties could switch alliances or form new groups. Critics argue the West was federally funded through military conquest and subsidies, but this overlooks the grassroots, bottom-up order that predated or operated parallel to state involvement. The Wild West's success in maintaining relative peace and economic growth, evidenced by booming towns like Deadwood and Tombstone, demonstrate that anarcho-capitalism can thrive in a challenging environment, making it the best example due to its scale, regency, and direct ties to American individualism. Now, medieval Iceland, a stateless society in action. The Icelandic Commonwealth offers an even older and more structured precedent for anarcho-capitalism, operating for over 3 centuries without a central executive monarchy or a standing army. This anarchic republic relied on voluntary chieftaincies, private enforcement, and a market for legal services, closely mirroring modern anarcho-capitalist proposals for dispute resolution organizations, and private defense agencies. Decentralized law and conflict resolution. Iceland's system was built around Althing, an annual assembly where laws were debated and disputes adjudicated, but enforcement was privatized. Chieftains sold their services to followers who could switch allegiances freely, creating a competitive market for protection and justice. Outlaws faced boycotts or private bounties, incentivizing compliance without taxation-funded police. This setup prevented monopolistic abuse. If chieftain became tyrannical, clients defected, bankrupting them. Nice. Economic historian Peter Leeson highlights how Iceland's institutions minimize violence through compensation systems and transferable legal claims, allowing victims to sell lawsuits to stronger parties for enforcement. Despite blood feuds and sagas, overall stability was remarkable, with literacy, trade, and cultural output flourishing. David Friedman, in defending this as an anarcho-capitalist, notes it approximated a polycentric legal order where law emerged from custom and competition, not decree. While not fully capitalist, lacking modern industry, Iceland's emphasis on property rights, voluntary associations, and market-driven governance makes it a proto-anarcho-capitalist success story. Its longevity debunks claims that stateless societies inevitably collapse into chaos. Okay, so let's address some of the critics and counterpoints again. Detractors point out the flaws. The Wild West involved Indians' displacement, a state-driven injustice not inherent to anarcho-capitalism, right, because it violates the non-aggression principle. And Iceland eventually centralized under Norwegian rule due to wealth concentration. Yet these do not invalidate the principles. They highlight external pressures or internal evolutions that modern anarcho-capitalism could mitigate through technology, blockchain for transparent contracts. Both examples show that, even imperfectly, decentralized systems outperform coercive alternatives in fostering liberty and order. So, to convince others, I recommend some of these books to read here. Practical Strategies. So, in persuading you skeptics out there, I'm going to frame these histories as empirical evidence rather than ideology. So we'll start with accessible narratives. The recommended book, like Terry Anderson's and P.J. Hill's The Not So Wild Wild West, or Riddick Long's analysis of Iceland, to provide depth without overwhelming. Use analogies here. Compare Wild West homesteading to modern open source software communities, or Iceland chieftains to competing insurance firms to make concepts relatable. Good strategy. So we'll engage visually here. We'll share documentaries or infographics debunking Wild West myths, emphasizing data on low crime rates. For Iceland, highlighted its sages as literary proof of cultural vitality under statelessness. Address emotions by acknowledging imperfections while contrasting with state failures. Modern policy brutality versus private accountability. That's a good one. Modern police brutality versus private accountability. So by building credibility, we'll begin with minarchist allies, right? Maybe Rand Paul, those people like that. They're already. Then we'll expand to debates. Okay, we got to do debates, podcasts, of course, like I'm doing, or social media threads. So we'll ask probing questions. I recommend, like, if the Wild West thrived without government, why assume we need it now? We can emphasize benefits like reduced taxes and innovation to appeal to self-interest. Ultimately, conviction comes from demonstrating that these examples aren't outliers, but blueprints for a freer future. And in conclusion, the Wild West and Icelandic Commonwealth vividly illustrate anarcho-capitalism's viability, with homesteading driving property rights and private institutions ensuring order. By leveraging historical facts, countering myths, and employing empathetic persuasion, we can convince others that these eras weren't anomalies, but inspirations for voluntary society. Embracing this vision promises a world of true freedom and prosperity. Okay, there's the rocket. Perfect timing. So now we're going to switch to the game portion of it. And I think I covered that in pretty good detail, pretty good depth there. And if we like to continue with that, of course we can, and we will continue with that. Okay, 9 o'clock straight up in Japan right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the game portion of the show now. We'll play a little Day of Defeat, and then Wolfenstein Enemy Territory to end the day. So, let's do it then. Okay. So those are good persuasion books. I recommend the Not So Wild Wild West. That's an excellent book. I have it and I've read it a couple of times. It's really good. Really, really good. Highly recommend. That's a good start. And I think persuading people that are already kind of libertarian anyway, you're not going to be persuading like leftists at all. Because they advocate for democracy, and we know democracy is incompatible with liberty. And yeah, that's not going to work, because leftists and leftism, it leads to statism, a more stronger state, a more centralized state. So you're not going to convince them at all, because they're always going to say, advocate for government, centralized government. But maybe like a classical liberal might be more accessible. Where's this map again? Okay. Let me check my Discord. You got anybody else going here? Okay, it looks like... Okay. So... Here we go. Nice Friday night. Is that that's a teammate. Let's go to the do we have the flag? It's hard to get them when they spawn so close to that flag, but well. And if you want to explore some more of those ideas, I recommend go watching the beginning of the 30-minute stream. I'm going to cover a lot of different topics, of course, and along the same line, anarcho-capitalism, objectivism, more and more. And next week, I'm going to explore something a little bit different, a little bit, kind of take a little detour. It doesn't really necessarily relate to objective anarchoism. Oh. I think the video turned out okay. I just created a bunch of images with Grok, and I put them together in a video, and I'll be doing that some more. I want to create longer videos too. I wouldn't make it like to kind of line up with the what I'm talking about. Bullet sponge. Can I go in here? Interesting how it comes out over here. Great. There's lots of avenues to explore about Iceland, medieval Iceland, and Wild Wild West. There are lots of avenues you can explore, but the whole idea is having private arbiters, not just decentralizing government. The whole point is to abolish it so you have private governance, so you have private arbiters who can resolve things. Just think, like Michael Miles brings up good example with eBay. That's a good example of a private arbiter. I think the more and more we explore these and we convince people, there's going to be, like I said, it's going to be very difficult to convince leftists. They are strong status. They're for democracy, like I said, which is not what I advocate. I do not advocate for democracy. Democracy is not on the plate. But a leftist has strong... Yeah, you're never going to convince the leftists of anarcho-capitalism. Because they're neither objective, nor are they in the support, or more are they in any kind of moral defense of liberty. They're more for equity. And that equality is completely incompatible. I've covered this before, but I probably will cover it some more again, more in depth as they go along. But yeah, it's completely incompatible with the liberty. Number 2. I don't want to stay here. I want to move for the... We played this map last week. Nowadays, yeah, I mean, since those are examples of what anarcho-capitalism can be, and it already shows that it functions, is that we now have other things, more modern technologies, like they said, the Bitcoin communities and the software, the people that create software, the creators that create the software and release source code. There's a modern example how you can actually create an anarcho-capitalist society and it will work. Let's see. Let's go with okay, let's go with number 2. I feel like 2. So it shows you have 2 working models, medieval Iceland and the Wild Wild West, and it shows that we can update certain aspects of it, and it will work. But if you put it together with the philosophy of objectivism, you have a more complete system, because you have a defense, moral defense of the system, and to validate the system. I'll cover some more of that again, as usual. This map. Okay. I know. Ugh, again. Exactly. We just did this last week. This map, I don't know, it's just not very fun. RTV, 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 is it read the vote? Redo the vote? Player Seaman. Why do we have to do this map again? Oh yeah, so we have the modern tools for private arbiters too. We have the podcasters, you know, that's the streamers. I mean, we've got eBay. That's a big one. Create a bunch of those. Create a bunch of eBay like resolution centers. They could be done with different arbiters, but there's an example of anarcho-capitalist justice or resolving conflict. You're not gonna do that, but look. Ah, my goodness. What the heck is that? Nice teal screen. Thought it snowed for a second. Oh, there we go. I got one flag? Oh. That's one too many. Client disconnect. Have you ever opened this map, these maps up in the Hammer software? You ever seen what the player spawns look like? The entities? They're green, and they all look like Freeman with glasses and a beard and mustache. Got their arms outstretched. And I don't know why this looks funny. They're all green, wearing glasses. I'll also be making some of those. I need to check a look at the shorts. I'm going to be making more of those shorts too, with those grok videos. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, I was sitting there making the videos with the images, and I kept creating more and more of them. It produced it, and I had a video, and I produced the video, exported it, and then I exported it to YouTube, and it created a short. And okay, that's a fast, easy way to do it. It takes a long time. I spend like the week making the images, whatever the topic's going to be. And then once I'm satisfied with all the images, the video, then I put it together in a video. Try to do that on Thursday, release that on Thursday, and ready for today's live stream on Friday. Why am I talking about that anyway? Jesus. Whoops. Why? I've got the flag. Oh, wrong guy. What happened to that guy? He didn't come back. No. Okay. Whoa. Is this the central? Yeah, it is. All right. Let's try go another way. Is that a grenade? Oh. Wait. Okay. That's kind of the problem here. It's just this. There's no like other objectives. You're just capturing flag. Whoa! Yeah. Okay. What else do we have to offer here? Putsch. Okay. Interesting. Oh no. Did I throw the grenade? No, I don't think I got the grenade out in time. Or maybe he picked up and threw it. I don't know. Alright. Bum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum. I got him. My teammate was there. Okay. Bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Marching, always marching. He must be a bot. Or no, he's the player, but let's go. What a no. Let's see what's going on here. He's not showing up. Man, it was oh, there we go. I was gonna talk about talk about work. Now see, this morning the weather wasn't too bad. Cloudy, but a little windy, but it was nice. So I had to lay down what they call in Japanese is called the sekai, and it's sekai is limestone powder, and you put that around the edges of the poultry buildings, around the concrete at the bottom, at the base, to kill off any possible invaders, bugs and viruses and stuff. And it's powder, you know, it's white, very, very fluffy, and it's very easy to disperse, so you don't really need to be really liberal about it. You can just sort of sprinkle it around and it will get blown. The wind will blow a lot of that stuff around anyway. So you got to be careful with that stuff, that limestone powder, because you'll get like rash on your skin or get in your eye. And so you can make sure you wear your goggles and wear a mask over your mouth. You know, inhale that stuff. And so I'm starting my work. The weather was nice, like I said, a little cloudy. But as I look out into the ocean, because the poultry center I work at overlooks the ocean, so you get a nice view of the ocean no matter where you look. And I'm looking at the ocean, and I see the streaks of, you know, streaky clouds going into the water. I thought, oh, that looks like a lot of rain coming this way. And the wind was blowing in our direction. I thought, shit, it's going to rain, isn't it? And I checked the weather and it said, yeah, rain's going to start soon. So I got to finish putting all this powder out before it really starts to rain, or else it's going to turn the powder into like putty stuff, and that could be problems. It just turns all this weird, yeah, like putty or something, or like dough. And not only that, as I'm getting myself in a hurry. I'm trying to put the powder down as fast as I can, and then it starts to rain, and then I kind of wait, and then it stops raining, so I start putting the powder down again, and then it starts to get more windy, and it's getting colder and rainy, and I'm trying to work fast as I can, so I'm getting really tired, and on top of that, I'm getting wet, really soaking wet, and it's cold. So all that put together is not a good thing. It's not good for you. It's not good for your health. So what happened was I finished just before lunch, and I didn't really know how tired or sick I was until after lunch. Had my lunch, took a nap, and then I went just to finish the day off. And as I left the car, I just felt the cold air. And it just was, oh man, I was really sick. And so I made it through the rest of the day, but I just didn't want to do anything. We still had some work to do, but yeah, I mean, it's just, man, that's not healthy. And that poncho I was wearing wasn't working at all. It just got everything. I was just all wet. And my coworker, he said in Japanese, he goes, "Is that a poncho?" I go, "Yeah, well, it used to be." It just didn't work. It just got everything soaking wet. And then I had bought some new boots, better boots. And as I was working in the rain, I noticed there's water in the boots. I go, wait a minute, there's no hole in these boots. I just got them. It's brand new. And the water was just dripping from my poncho into the boots. I was trying to avoid that, you know, and have to get the water down in there, soak my feet. But yeah, that was just awful. I was really sick. I don't feel so bad now. I still feel a little weak because it's not healthy to be out there, especially the wind. And when you live next to the ocean like that, yeah, especially this time of season, like fall, you get into winter. It's already, the snow's already on top of a lot of the mountains around here, and so you get that strong cold wind and the rain, yeah, and you're out there all morning in it, you're gonna get sick. It's not healthy. And plus you're dealing with that limestone powder. I got that on my skin too. I got like a really bad rash, burning rash on my wrists and a little on top of my feet. So yeah, it started out like a pretty good day, but then it just ended up just not being that great. But I guess I'm okay now with coffee. I had some coffee. I guess I have another cup of coffee. I don't know. But that was the day today. Exciting tales at that poultry center. Luckily, the rest of the day we worked inside. We had to work indoors, and if we did have to go outside, I didn't want to go outside. It just looked terrible, cold, windy, rainy. Oh God. I'm not going out there again. The hell with that. Screw that. Gonna start feeling sick. So we've been going for an hour, and maybe pretty soon we'll play some Wolf ET. It usually gets more crowded on the FA server around 10 o'clock when I feel like I want to leave. So it's when I leave, around 10 o'clock, the servers start to fill up. See, this is the problem. What? Oh, he's over there. Did I get anybody with a grenade? I didn't get anybody with a grenade. Let's throw it harder. There's the Citadel off in the distance. That's a big church. Tall. All right, let's go this way. Yeah, there we go. When do we change maps? There's a spawn area. Way in that house. No. We've won 3 in a row. Maybe one more before I leave and play Wolf ET. Lost. Mosh. Whoa. Pick up those grenades. Nice. Now get another cup of coffee. Right before we play Wolf ET. Area secure. Who's shooting? Whoa, he's over there. Oh. So tomorrow, we're going to go hunting again at the secondhand store. Maybe we find some... usually I like to look for the Gumpla. Yeah, some maybe rare, any kind of rare model. These like a figure kit is good. Yeah, wait till you see Sunday. If you guys show up on Sunday, wait till you see what I got Sunday. It's going to be a two-parter too, because it's the model I got is master grade, so it's going to take a little longer. So we're going to do a two-parter with that one. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll go hunting again at the a different secondhand store, see what we can find. We've been to a couple already. I did find one perfect grade at the store, but it was a little bit pricey. It was like $120 maybe. 100. Yeah, it was 120. But then we went to another secondhand store. We found a couple of rare goodies. I found two master grade models, or three actually. I found one model there that I've never seen at the store. Was the Volks 5-star stories from this anime series. It was a model kit. I think it was called Terror. Nice looking kit, big box too. So that's like a master grade kit. Then I found the thing I got was rare, very rare. Wait till you see it. I'm not gonna spoil it. Oh, I don't know how he did that. Just around the corner. And then I saw another master grade, just standard Gundam. I don't like those standard Gundam models. This looks too ordinary. The design of Gundam really hasn't changed much. The basic design, I mean, of Gundam hasn't changed much since its inception in 1980. I think it's 1980 when Gundam came out. Yeah, it just really hasn't changed much. And I don't like to look for those kind of normal kits. Normally I don't look at something unusual. You know, a little different. I don't know how he does that. It's pretty lag. But I mean, if I do find like just a standard Gundam one that's rare, yeah. And if it's, you know, cheap. But yeah, secondhand stores in Japan, you might get lucky. You'll find. I found a really rare model. It was by Monogram, the company Monogram, and it was the reissue of the Aurora Godzilla glow kit. The original Godzilla glow kit came out like, oh yeah, well the original Godzilla kit came out in the 60s. Then they re-released them as glow kits, late 60s, early 70s. I had the Godzilla glow kit from the 70s. I still kept the box too. I had the box for that. And one day I went to a secondhand shop in Japan, and I don't know what I was looking for, but I went to the shop, and in the window of the shop was the Monogram Godzilla's glow kit that was released in the early 80s. It took me a second to figure out what I was seeing. I wasn't sure if that was real or not, because you don't see that usually in Japan. Especially that's a rare one. That Godzilla glow kit is pretty, you don't really, that's a Monogram reissue, but you don't really find that one very much. I've never seen it very much. And so what was even more unbelievable was the fact that it even existed in a secondhand store in Japan was the price, only $15. So of course I bought it. I said, I know what this is worth. It's not $15. I tell you, I don't know where they got that price from. And so I bought it naturally, and I was just going to keep it. But then I put it on eBay, and I sold it on eBay for like $250, I think. Yeah, it's worth that Godzilla glow kit. It's worth a lot of money. So sometimes you'll find rare kits like that in Japan. You'll see like Monogram or Revell kit sometimes. I mean, usually you'll see the Gundam stuff. But sometimes you might find rare, something kind of unusual, strange, like I did. So tomorrow we're going to be doing that. We're going to be hunting, and whatever I find, I will share with you on my live stream. And I'm going to share with you on my live stream on Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Again, why am I talking about my schedule? Should be talking about the game. Oh, there's the guy in the window. Okay, he thought he could hide behind the boxes, but... oh, watch out. That grenade, this requires 2 people. One XX, another one XY. If you have any like unusual stories like that where you found something rare and then sold it for a lot of money, that's always cool. I found at a toy show a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long time ago for me. But in the late 90s, we used to go to this toy show, Humdinger Toy Show in San Jose. And you see the standard stuff there for sale, like that baby right there. And sometimes you see they're not so standard. It's there was a table of a dealer, and he was selling some Transformers. And at on the top shelf was a Gundam. It was a die-cast Gundam Chogoki figure. And I looked at it and I go, that looks like an older Gundam. It's like from like 1981 or something, right? And so I looked it up. I happened to have a Hobby Japan magazine. The ad in the back, and in the ad in the back showed that same Gundam Chogoki die-cast toy in there, complete, and they were selling it for like $500. $500. How much it was selling for in the back of the Hobby Japan? I think it was called Magic Box. Magic Box is a famous collectible store in Japan. If you've been to like Shinjuku, I think it's in, where is it? Shinjuku? I forgot where. I've only been there once. And so I looked at the back, and it had that same back figure. I go, hey, look, there's the same one the guy's selling. And so the guy who was selling the Gundam figure, he was selling it for like $75. And even just looking at that Gundam thing, I knew it was worth more than $75 just by looking at the presentation and the completeness of and the condition of it. I go, this is older Gundams. This is worth more than $75. So I didn't buy it then. So I decided I'm going to wait till next time we come. And if he still has it and hasn't sold it, 6 months from now, I'll offer him and I'll buy it for him. And so the next time we went 6 months later, the guy was in the same spot. The dealer was in the same exact spot as before, and he had that Gundam. He still had it there. My brother didn't believe it. He goes, no, he's not going to have that Gundam toy. Are you kidding? He's going to sell that thing probably. I said, nah, he's not going to sell it because he doesn't know what it is. I mean, he called this Gundam toy, he called it like a Transformer robot. I said, well, that's just wrong. He doesn't know what it is. He's got the price too cheap anyway, $75. According to Hobby Japan there, mint condition, the same toy goes for like $500. And so I went to the table and offered him. I looked at it and I go, hey, what's that Transformer robot thing? You got that there on the top of the shelf there. And he goes, oh, this thing? I'm asking 75. I go, will you take 55? And he thought about it. Okay, sure. I've had it for a long time. No one's asked for it. You're the only one to ask for it. Okay, sure. So I paid $55 for it. It's the old Gundam, rare Gundam Chogoki, die-cast with all the accessories. All the parts are in there. Everything is mint condition. It's like, shit, $55. That's a good deal. Maybe I'll just keep it. But then I said, well, I'm going to try to sell it. And if I don't sell it by the end of the show, I will just keep it for myself. And sure enough, like clockwork, 2 hours later after I bought it for $55, someone came up and offered me, yeah. He said, how much are you selling that Gundam thing? I go, $250. He said, oh, okay, I'll think about it. I really want it. I'm looking for some kind of, another die-cast Chogoki figure to kind of go along with my other Chogoki collection. Let me get back to you. So by the end of the long story short, the show ends. The guy comes back, and he bought the Gundam thing for $250. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good score when that happened. That's pretty cool. Because I have so many that back then, throughout most of the 90s, most people who collected toys and sold toys, when collectible toys started getting popular, they had those magazines like Action Figure, Collectible Magazine, they had Toy Shop, Classifieds, and that stuff was just getting really, really popular. So this is before eBay, before 1996. It's even after eBay came out in 1996. Most people that were dealing with any kind of Japanese toy had no idea what they had. They didn't even know what it was. They just called it a Transformer Power Ranger or something like that. You know, it gave us some generic name. There was only a few people that I knew that knew a lot about Japanese robot collectibles. So I'd always get a kick out of when I see a dealer selling one of those old Japanese toys for like really cheap. So of course you're gonna buy it because they have no idea what it is. They don't know what it's called. I got one of those. Some lady, a dealer, she was selling a Henshin Cyborg. The Henshin Cyborg is like kind of like a GI Joe in a way, but it comes with like a generic body, see-through body. It's just a cyborg, and you can buy all these different suits or skins you can put over it, like Majinga, Zeto, you know, and other things like that. And so this lady was selling a Henshin Cyborg. I knew exactly what it was. It was the original one, mint in its box. And I asked her about it. She was only selling it for like $50. Again, I knew what it was. I knew it was worth way more than $50, especially you can find it in mint condition. And that version of the original Henshin Cyborg for like 71 at 1971. I thought, this thing's worth way more than $50. She doesn't know what she has. And I asked the lady, the dealer, I say, look, do you have any more of these? She goes, no, this is the only one I found in someone's attic. Okay, sure. Someone's attic. It's always somebody's attic. Yeah, I found Jesus' the piece of the wooden cross in someone's attic. And so I offered it. I said, I'll buy it for $25. He says, okay. I bought it for $25. And I swear to God, same thing happened again. 2 hours later, a Japanese guy comes up to me and goes, I heard you have Henshin Cyborg. I go, yeah? How much are you selling it for? $150. He said, okay, and bought it there on the spot. He didn't offer me less. I go, damn, that was fast. I was hoping to keep that thing throughout the whole show and then sell it at the end or something. But no, I sold it before just as the show started. Japanese guy, I guess, heard about that I got it and he bought it, $150. I went, cool, gone, sold. That doesn't happen all the time. It happens sometimes. You get lucky. But they say I was back in the day, nobody knew anything about Japanese collectibles. Chogo King, Henshin Cyborg, Microman, they knew nothing about that stuff. Very few people knew anything about it. And especially like if the robot toy, like the Chogo King, the diecast toy was associated with the TV show. They had no idea anything about the Japanese live-action TV shows. Nothing. They just thought it was some anime or something. And it was some anime or some Japanimation kind of show kind of thing. They didn't know what they had. They just sell it for whatever. They just guessed. A lot of time they just guessed. Because, oh, it's Japanese, so it must be expensive. They overcharge. So yeah, sometimes they overcharge on those Japanese toys. So yeah, nowadays it's easy to check and find out about. In fact, those recycle stores in Japan, they're very efficient in checking. So I mean, you'll find something rare, but they know what it's worth because the people will check, the store clerks will check the internet and find out, we know what that is. Yeah, okay, that's really expensive. So they'll put it behind glass if it's like really rare and behind a glass case. So they all know what that shit is. But sometimes you might find some that they might not know or undercharge. Oh, great. All my friends are dead here. Okay. Oh, it's 8:39. Been telling that story too long. Get on with it. Okay, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get some coffee, and we'll move on to Wolfenstein Enemy Territory.
enjoy the video.
Okay, we're back. And I got my coffee, and we're gonna quit here and go play Wolfie T. Let's see what that server's like on there. Let's take a chance. I'm not gonna check track base. Check track base. Just enjoy the video on the loop. All right, let's see. Let's change the mod to Legacy. What were we talking about before? Oh yeah, we're talking about the yeah, when collectibles, especially toy collectibles, were getting popular in the late '80s, early '90s. A lot of the dealers who collected models and toys from the past, a lot of them didn't know what they had, especially when it came to Japanese, any kind of Japanese import or literally a Japanese toy. I say literally, it has to be the original. Oh, great, we get the secret door. It has to be the original Japanese, yeah. Let's see. Well, I can't join the access, so I guess I'll join the allies again. Wait. Let me get the... Okay, I don't care. I really don't care. What is this? What's Wolfman's problem? Oh, server's exactly what. So we'll all right, just leave me alone. Let me have some more coffee. Again, this guy's in her spawn, just throwing knives at us. Who's doing this anyway? Is this Invadetrons? I have no idea who that is. You having fun there, Hubson? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, any kind of Japanese toy, a lot of these, most of the dealers had no idea what they had. They're very ignorant. So they usually, like, a lot of times they would just overcharge for the Japanese toy because maybe they spent too much for it when they bought it from some other collector, and they wouldn't bother to even find out anything about it. Or they would undercharge something because they have no idea what it is. They just, they have no idea what it is. It's Japanese, so it must be a Japanese Transformer toy. They always call it a Transformer toy. I like the developers have put little wood here that no one's even going to notice. It's utterly pointless. It doesn't add anything to the aesthetic because like it matches the ground too much. You can't even tell. Oh, there's wood here. Who cares? Doesn't do anything. Are we open here for business? He's hard to hit. Little filler. But I knew a friend of mine. This guy, his name was Mike Parisi, and he had a massive collection of Japanese robot toys. So I got really educated. I often go to his house, look at his collection, ask questions, find out more about them. So I became more versatile, more knowledgeable on the subject. So I knew what to look for. I knew about how much it's worth, and I knew the rarity of it. And plus, I used to read Bandai Club. I used to also read Hobby Japan. And Hobby Japan would often advertise in the back for stores in Japan, collectible stores in Japan. Like one of them was Magic Box. So I was always looking in the back of Hobby Japan. First, I would be like amazed at the model kits in Hobby Japan. Some of those resin kits, like the Volks 5-star stories. When that series came out, and when those models came out, the resin model kit, they were amazing. They're big model kits too. They're worth quite a bit. The chunk of change there. I think I've seen them once or twice sold, but they were expensive back in the day when they came out. They're very expensive. Nice kits though, very difficult. Very difficult to build, but good, worth the challenge. So I'd always look in the back of Hobby Japan. And I would look for, hey, look, Hobby Japan. They might have Gundam on the front. Usually have Gundam on the front. Some Gunpla. So I look in the back and I see Magic Box, and I see what kind of toys they're selling, advertising for. Advertising in the back of that magazine. It's a thick book, too. If you ever read Hobby Japan, it was very thick. Very thick book. If I remember right, there weren't that many hobby magazines back then. There was Bandai Club, which catered to anime and live action. And that was the only time you would only get news or news updates about any kind of new Japanese live action show in the 90s. If you can read Japanese. I'd always have help. I would subscribe to, and they're expensive. You just pay like $15 a month for this Bandai Club. It no longer exists, but you can find them for sale on eBay. The older, when did it go out of business? Around 99, I think. That was a good magazine to read, but Hobby Japan was more catering to hobby. Goompla and any kind of model building. It hardly ever showcased or talked about any live action stuff. It just usually would just show model builds and new models coming out, and it would just it would have articles about, you know, building tips and stuff. So yeah, that was the only magazine I knew about of its kind. But I'm sure there's probably other ones in Japan, but I didn't know about them. Just Hobby Japan. If I look at the back, I see Magic Box. Oh, look what toys they have for sale. So finally, when I came to Japan for the first time, I think it was like 2000. And that's the first place I want to go to. You're in Japan, you're Tokyo. Japan. Rampage. East. Sea. I'm in Japan near the East Sea. And so I finally went to Magic Box. And oh boy, that collectible store was huge. Not only did they sell rare collectibles, and it was all the top premium prices because they knew what that stuff was. It was a huge store. I thought it was huge. They also sold like other items, like props from their live action shows. So I saw like a Jetman helmet in there. That was the broken one too. I think Black Condor helmet. It was like broken. Cool. It's a original prop from the TV show Jetman. It wasn't for sale, I don't think. I think it was just for display. So, yeah, imagine going there for the first time. Big collectible store. Oh, boy. But it doesn't guarantee you're going to find what what you're looking for in there. I don't think I even found what I was looking for when I was looking for more like Sentai, like the Ranger stuff. They got hot girls? I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know about that. What? Until they talk. I don't know about that. What are these people talking about? They scream? What? I heard they mostly... Yeah. Yeah. Mostly. Yeah, mostly. Mostly polite. Sort of. I mean, you gotta understand what they're talking about. They may act polite, but they could say some shit. Lots of distance between people in Japan. What? Huh? What do you mean? What does that mean? A lot of distance between people in Japan. What? Okay. I live in Okinawa and you live in Hokkaido. That's a big distance. I don't know what the hell they're talking. Don't know what the hell that even means. But they keep showing on the internet then. But what? Everyone tight together, but not much wrong. That's wrong. Clearly, this guy's never had a job in Japan. Yeah, never had a real job. I thought it's like everybody is open. Yeah. Try working a real job in Japan. Yeah, try working a real job in Japan. You'll see they're just like everybody else. I don't know what the hell this guy's talking. I think this guy's like on a military base, maybe. He doesn't sound like he teaches English in Japan. I know the difference between an English teacher in Japan and someone that lives on a military base. I've seen Indian making vlogs while they're in Japan there. What? Okay. What does that have to do with that? I just... No, they're like everybody else. When you work a real job in Japan, like everybody else. What? These guys are off talking about something else. I have no idea what they're talking about. Now they just changed the subject. I work in Japan company for 5 years full time. Really? Company? Here for a few decades. Really now? What company? Liar. What company? Now we'll find out. He doesn't sound like someone. I guess it depends if you like your what. Again, I don't know what company. What company did you work at? My bro-in-law came for work at blah blah blah. I don't remember what they were talking about. Then left. No, I have no idea. So what company did you work for? No, he's not going to say. We got a real fanatic there, too. Politics is life. So I have no idea what company. This guy claims he's worked at a real company for 5 years. Been here for a few decades. But he doesn't sound like it. I know what people are like when they live in Japan for a long time. They don't sound like this guy. This guy's something off about it. What company did you work for? He won't answer. Let's see if he does. Give him the... Do you work for in Japan? I know a lot of the companies in Japan. I've taught English a lot. And not gonna answer, huh? So what company did you work for in Japan? Flip Flops. That was the name of the company. Where? Marubeni? Bosch? First blood. Yeah, girls' company. Yeah, you can see. The fact that he hasn't really answered me, or did he leave? Who was the guy named Taco? Where is he? He just left. Ah, okay. Yeah, we'll find out. Sure, right, yeah. I lived in Japan for years. I worked at a company once. What's the name of the company? He runs away. Usually people that actually, you know, they actually are truthful and say they worked at a real job in Japan. They know what's going on. They're not going to sound like this guy. This guy sounds like he's like a teenager and living on a military base. Because the shit he just said about, oh, Japanese don't show emotions. Bullshit. You never worked at a real company. You never worked at a real work. They show plenty of emotions. I don't know what country this guy's in. This guy, he sounds like he's just working someplace isolation, maybe like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like he's the real deal. Something sounds off about this guy. Because that's not, I've lived in Japan just as long as that guy. And I'm telling you, they're just as emotional. They can be. I work at a real company in Japan. The real place that I'm telling you, they're just like everybody else. So he's not being truthful. Great shot. Every day, my coworker, especially one of my coworkers, I have to make fun of him. Because his language when he speaks isn't very polite Japanese. When he tells me something to do or he wants to do something. He never says it politely.
Killing spree.
Like the other co-workers will ask me to do something politely. They kudasai, you know. Hakonde kudasai. QK shite kudasai. You know, they're more polite about it, right? But not this guy. This guy. He's doesn't use that kind of language. It's kind of rude. He doesn't mean to be though. He's not intentional. That's the way he speaks. It's rough, you know. It's kind of like, oh, Eric-san yaru. Yatte, ore ga yaru. So I just make fun. Like today, I was making fun of him today. I go, why do you always do that? You always talk to me differently. You always say, kono yaro, tene, yatte kudasai. Yatte yaro. I'm exaggerating. He didn't say that, but almost. And he starts laughing. And then after making fun of him, the way he talks to me like that, you know, like if I start doing something, I start helping him doing something. Like today, we're helping doing cement, mixing cement and repairing the concrete holes, concrete. And I start to do it. You know, I start to help get the jackhammer, start making the hole in the cement so we can fix it and stuff. And he goes, doke. Yappari, ore ga yaru. As I finally told him, I go, look, you need to talk to me politely. You just say, oh, you did let me do it. And then say, if you want me to do something, just ask me. He goes, oh, koya yatte kudasai. You know. You need to ask me nicely. So finally, he got the message today, and he thanked me. He goes, "Oh, you know, thank you, Eric-san. You have a big heart." Because I'm not making fun of you. It's just when you talk. See, you're talking to the real deal. You're talking to someone that I live in Japan for a long time, and I have a real job. And this is how Japanese people are. Not what this other guy Taco says, where it's, oh, Japanese don't show their emotions. Clearly, you've never worked in Japan then. Because I've seen teachers get mad. Oh boy, have I seen teachers get mad here. Oh my goodness. One time at an elementary school, a student, a first grader, did something he wasn't supposed to do, and the teachers, both of them, took him aside to this room. It was like a little, I don't know what it was. It was a spare multi-purpose room. Anyway, and they spent like, I don't know, it must have been like 20 minutes telling, can you apologize for this? You did this. You know, say you're sorry. And they started getting angry. You go, come on, say you're sorry. And the kids go, oh, come in there. Oh, they were getting pissed at this kid. This kid's like, first grader, He just came from kindergarten, and they're yelling at this kid to apologize. So yeah, they get, I don't know, it's like, see, people on this game here, that's just how they are on this, people that play this game that are on here. A lot of them are just full of shit. They lie, they exaggerate things. Well, like this guy Tacos that was on here. He just left after I asked him, so what company did you work for? He just leaves. Doesn't say anything, no explanation, just leaves. I told him he was wrong. Saying, oh, Japanese don't show their emotions. Jesus. Guess you never lived in Japan long enough. I've seen them get pissed. Boy, do they get pissed, too. They're not as, like, fiery as Koreans, though. Koreans will get in your face, but I have seen Japanese people do that, too. So, he's either a kid working on a military base, not working, but living on one with his parents. He sounds like it. He doesn't sound like he actually, experienced real Japan. The way he experienced any country is just get a goddamn job there. You get to see what it's really, get a real job too. Not some executive type, get a real one. Because my boss at the place, I've seen him get mad too. Yeah. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, he got pissed. I can tell. I mean, it's obviously he wasn't hiding his emotions. Ah, there you go. Got the knife in my back. Okay. What was I gonna say? Something else about it. I'll remember. Allies have left the server. Now see, we're past 10 o'clock and the server's not filling up. Let me see. Yeah, he's not coming back. He won't show up today. Yeah, I've got lots of stories. I lived in Japan long enough. I got lots of stories to share. I've seen him get mad. One day, I was on my way home from work. I came up to a stoplight, and in the rearview mirror, this is at night. In the rearview mirror, I see some movement happening. The car behind me. Prepare to fight. And I go, "What's going on? Is that construction work? What's going on here?" Suddenly, this guy appears on the side of my window, driver's side, starts pounding on the window. He starts yelling at me, swearing at me. I'm just looking at him. I don't know what the fuck I did. I have no idea what I did. He's just swearing at me, pounding on the window or something. Then he went back in his car, and I have no idea what he was. Still don't have a clue what he was talking about. He said, "Stop fooling around, asshole," or something. I just went, "What?" I had no idea what was. I don't know. Maybe he confused me with someone else, but that was genuine emotion. He was pissed. Must have been having a bad day or something. I don't know. It happens, you know. People just maybe get confused. You know, maybe he thought it was someone else. I don't know. First blood. Just little things you remember. You know, this one apartment I lived in. It was late at night, and this couple was arguing outside on the bottom floor outside. I could tell they're arguing because his girlfriend was getting mad. She sounded like a fucking machine gun, like that. I go, "Oh, she's pissed." And then suddenly the guy, this is like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. The guy on the top floor opens his window and goes, "Understeiner, damare." It was loud. He told him, "Hey, shut the fuck up down there. Stop arguing so much. Go to sleep." It's like 2 in the morning. Yeah, but Japanese don't show their emotions. Yeah, sure, right, whatever. You live in the wrong country, I guess. You live in planet Vulcan or something? Full of shit. You know, I know this guy's full of shit. This guy's taco's full of shit because Japanese don't show their emotion, and you live in Tokyo? Yeah, right, liar. Apparently you haven't lived in Tokyo. Because I live near there, and I've seen plenty of gangs and shit and people getting pissed. Yeah, sure. I live around Tokyo. They're polite there. Bullshit. Dynamite planted. God, I swear. People have to lie like that. Destroyed the side entrance. Construct the command post. Okay, so we're going to construct a command post. I get mad. Oh. Okay, we'll do it. Well, go ahead. There you go. Okay, we got the command post. Command post constructed. Dynamite planted. If you want to know what's real like in Japan, ask me anything about it. I've been here long enough to tell you that when I hear people talk this way, and it just really bothers me, like that guy that was on here earlier, claiming this, that, and the other thing in Japan, but I know better. I know what it's really like. I've seen my father-in-law get pissed off. Hell, the neighbors next to us were getting pissed off. I remember the son and father used to fight all the time. Almost every week they're having big arguments outside. You hear it from outside the house. Jeez. Killing spree. Okay, we got the command. Let's concentrate here. Oh, we didn't get the command post.
Command
Damn,
post
Glenn.
constructed.
Killing spree.
I need a medic.
Okay. Let's simmer things down a little bit here.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, look at the server filling up. The heck, it's Friday night. I'll keep going for a little bit more. Haven't played Radar for a long time. Now, just a little side note. I hate to be nitpicky and stuff, but there are other people on here, on this server here, Fearless Assassins. It's the recruiting one. Yeah. Where does it say? Does it have server information? Yeah, it's recruiting. There are people on here that claim, and this is, I'm just being nitpicking now, but there are people on here that claim they played this game when it first came out. All right, they claim it first came out in 2003. Wolfenstein Enemy Territory came out, and I asked them, the first thing I asked them to test them, the litmus test. I go, so did you play the beta of this game? They all say no. Wait a minute, I thought you played this game when it first came out. Did you play the leaked beta of this game? What? Oh, what did you think of the voice chats of the... Because the voice chats for the beta of this game were pretty freaking hilarious. They sound like a bunch of old people. The allies sound like old men. Access sound like old men. So people used to make fun of the leaked beta. So that's how I know if people played this game when it came out or not, because I'll not only mention the beta of this game and how ridiculous the voice chats were for this game, and also I would mention the other clans that were around. Like, test them. If you're ever playing this server, ask them, oh, do you remember, you played this game when it came out? Do you remember Evil Smurfs clan? How about Hell's Kitchen? They say no. They don't remember. Okay, we didn't play it when it came out. I know that's kind of nitpicky, but this is how the kind of people are on this server. They just exaggerate things, lie about things. There's like that guy on there earlier, Taco. So hopefully we'll see him again tomorrow.
Objective taken.
If he's on here again tomorrow, I'm going to give him some shit. So you're full of shit.
East radar parts lost.
I think that guy just probably watched some TikTok videos or something. Saw some Zoomer,
East radar parts lost. They've returned
you know, doing some TikTok video. What life is like in Japan? I'm not going to make any of those kind of videos. What the hell for? Because anybody can find that out. And I'm not about to, you know, film around my workplace. It'd probably be illegal anyway. Show what that's like. And a coworker, they wouldn't like that at all. Are we going to win this match or what? Oh, boy, I'm getting pummeled. Hey, you're not supposed to leave. This is entertaining content, don't you know?
Killing spree.
I just want to talk about something fun. It's Friday night, you know. You know, just... You know, just be honest, you know.
Objective taken. We've stolen the west radar part.
Nah, Benedict.
Objective taken.
Okay, we're gonna finish up soon, I think, and then we'll continue on Sunday with my model build. And it's yeah. Wait till you see. It's gonna be a good one. I found something really rare, and I got surprisingly I paid a cheap price for it too, because it's what it's really worth. It's worth like what, 150, maybe $200, maybe. But it's a master grade model kit, so it's higher up on a little higher up on the scale, and it's going to be it's going to be two parts, because master grade model kits take a little bit longer. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna split up into 2 parts. And plus, it's not good sitting here for like 30. You know, she's like every 30 minutes you should get up and move around.
Prepare to fight.
This Italy map. This is the Counter-Strike map. Where's all the people? It just died out. Great. There you go. I'm dead. Thanks.
First blood.
First blood. Oh, it's just warm up still. And yes, I'm gonna make a showcase video showcasing the models I built.
I'm constructing.
Fight.
Okay, let's see about getting a command post first.
First blood.
Let's see how this map goes.
Command post constructed.
There. Hey, what the heck is that? My own teammate doing
Dynamite
that.
planted.
Man, that still bothers me. Why do people lie? God, I hate keep talking about it, but just why the fuck do you lie about living in Japan? Jesus, what's the point? Yeah, sure. I work at a company for 5 years, and I've been here for decades. You don't sound like it. You know, it's like anybody I know that's lived and worked in Japan for that long. I know people that lived in Japan for a long time. They sure as hell don't sound like that guy. He wasn't very specific about anything. He was just saying like that. This was specifically that really pissed me off when they say that nonsense about how Japanese don't show their emotions. Like, this is so full of shit. If you've never been in Japan, maybe never. This guy's never been in Japan. I mean, it's one thing living on a military base, okay? But still, you don't get to really experience real Japan. You're just around a bunch of foreigners. So how is that really experiencing Japan? Oh, that's easy. That's easy peasy. Just hanging a bunch of foreigners all day. You don't have a real job in Japan. You're not working at McDonald's or anything.
Killing spree.
Halifax.
Killing spree.
Okay. Lots of boxes. Oh. Okay, we're...
Killing spree.
Big stairs. I thought I was... medic. I was going to give us the med packs. Ah, shit.
Killing spree.
I'm still thinking about that guy. He's full of shit. When I'm at the grocery store, there's this couple in there. I know the couple. They live kind of not far from us. They go to dry cleaning. And it's always the wife is just getting on the husband.
Killing spree.
Always, she's always getting on this guy. This is a grocery store. She's loud too. I thought they don't show their emotions, huh? Weird, huh? Living in Tokyo, they don't show their emotions.
Killing spree. Killing
Da 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 dee dee. Okay, so we're gonna probably end pretty soon, about 10:30. I don't want to keep going like this. Not good to sit down for that long. But Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Japan time, model build, rare model.
Damaged.
Should be a lot of fun. doing this model, master grade. I've done kind of master grade before with the Mazing Kaiser and the Medroid Good Smile Company models. Those are like master grade. Those are master grade models. It's a lot of parts and a little more complicated than usual high grade or even real grade. So yeah. So I that should be fun.
Killing spree.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go construct this command post without getting killed by artillery. There you go. And see, in this map, the command post is really important. You gotta get this command post, and then you'll be able to win. It's usually whoever gets the command post last here, you usually win. Because you spawn there. And for allies, that's very important to spawn near there, because that's where the Jeep goes. The Jeep will drive under that bridge where the command post is at. So that's why it's so important. You want to be close to that area. Because the beach will be escorted here to the final destination. To this gate here, which... What the fuck? Yeah, that's where it goes. How does it go down the... Does it drive the street over there? There's no road. It's all dead end. Yeah. Flaw on the map. At least make it realistic. Yeah, like grabbing a gold crate and put it in your pocket. Yeah, that's pretty realistic.
Let's go.
Why do you need the Jeep then? Why, I hate saying that again, but it's true. Why the hell do you need the Jeep to put the gold crates on when you already captured the gold crate in your pocket? Why not just run to the end here? I think Byzantine map is like that. It's just run to the end and just, okay, you're finished. You don't need the Jeep. Flaw in the design there. If you're taking some kind of objective that's heavy like a gold crate, you shouldn't be allowed to pick it up. You shouldn't be allowed to pick it up and stick it in your pocket.
Dynamite diffused.
Okay.
Construction completed.
Construction completed. Where?
Post damaged.
Okay. Whoa, they got all kinds of covert ops in there. They're angry.
Killing spree.
It's a nice 3-day weekend. Probably gonna go to Onsen Hot Spring tomorrow. Yeah, I know you're not allowed to bring cameras in there.
Construct the command post.
Oh, construct command.
Command post constructed. Command post damaged.
Ah, can you not? Can you keep the damn command post? Ah. Okay. I have really no reason to keep the stream going after 5 minutes, unless you want me to keep going. But I don't know. I don't want to do a game stream.
They've constructed a command post. Dynamite planted.
Dynamite planted. Let's see if we can get a command post kill. Sometimes you can get a command post kill.
Killing spree.
I need a medic.
I'll do it. It's gonna blow. There it goes. He blew himself up. There's his helmet.
Post constructed.
There you go. That's okay. Let's blow it with a sack. Get out of there. Get out of there, Anton. Weird place for a command post in front of a window. Yeah.
Killing.
Jesus Christ, Brad. Take a pill or something.
Killing spree.
I'll just
Dynamite defused.
X at it. Discord.
Killing spree.
We're not going to need that anymore. Oh, wait.
Dynamite defused.
Dynamite diffused.
Firing for effect. Get the gold.
Get the gold. We're in the... Just put the gold crate in your pocket.
Landmine spotted. Check your command map.
Alrighty. Oh, no, no.
Dynamite planted.
Dynamite planted.
Objective taken.
Okay.
We've got the first gold crate.
Killing
In our
spree.
pocket.
Objective taken.
There we
We've
go.
got the second gold crate. We've lost the first gold crate.
Killing spree.
Objective destroyed.
Oh, I got it. Well, where...
Secure.
Okay.
Objective taken.
Whoops. Okay.
Killing spree.
Get him secure.
What?
Objective taken.
Why didn't...
Get him secure.
What the fuck? Why didn't they...
Killing spree.
I was right next to the Jeep. Why didn't it... How did... See, that's stupid flaw. Come on, man. Seriously. I thought you just touched the stupid thing and it puts the gold crate in there. And now we're going to be official about it? We're going to have to put it in there just right?
Objective taken.
Can't do that. Let's see.
Objective taken.
You know, I think in an early version you can go upstairs.
Secure.
Objective secure. There we go.
Objective taken.
Okay, I can get it easily. Ah, shit.
Objective taken.
Damn it.
Dominating.
Oh, I'm alive.
First gold crate secure.
Okay.
Second gold crate secured.
Okay, we're fine.
Rampage.
Okay. I think we're going to call it a night. So if you'd like to come back, you can. And enjoy the building stream. And give your support. Cheer. I don't know. Go, go, go. I don't know, whatever. And I'll be doing the model build. So that'll be Sunday morning. Yep. And hope to see you then.